In this second video, we'll be going over how you adjust your line weights and manipulate paths. In Rhino, those lines were called curves. In Illustrator, they're called paths. And so we'll be focusing on the direct selection tool, the pen tool, the scissor tool, and the join function. And then I will create a third short video to go over the type tool and how you arrange objects on a page, like front to back. All right, to begin, let's just go over to the Layers panel and hide this text. We'll first start by reordering our layers that were imported from Rhino. If you click and hold down and drag, you can change them. If you double click on a layer, you can change the name of it. So click right on the circle next to the layer outline. Here you'll see a black square. If you expand this layer, you'll see that there's only one sublayer, and it's that one closed curve that we created in Rhino, which was our outline. Go under the Properties panel to change the stroke. But the stroke is already at 1 point, which is what we wanted. So let's go back to the Layers panel. Do the same thing with mid. If you expand this layer, you can see there's more curves or more paths. Go under the Properties tab. From the drop-down menu, hit 0.5 point. Go to Layers. Let's do the same thing with Hidden. Properties, 0.25. And then let's zoom in on our object. So you can see the line weight is the difference between the mid and the light is very subtle. So let's make the hidden lines dashed as well. We'll go under Layers, we'll lock the outline and mid layer, and then select all of the hidden layer, go to Properties, hit Stroke, check Dashed Line, and you can see here. And now we're going to do a couple things with the dashed line. So let's zoom in on this chunk right here so you can see this corner, because I want to illustrate something. If you hit Control A, it'll select everything. However, we have the outline and mid layer locked, so it's only going to select everything under the hidden layer. Go under Stroke again. Let's make the dashed line smaller. We'll make it 4 rather than 12. Pull up Stroke. This right here, this creates this corner, this 3-point corner. If we select this option instead, it doesn't make it quite as clean. So I like to have this selected. If we zoom in even further, Control A, make sure they're all still selected, hit Stroke. You can see this curved cap right here. What happens when you select the other options. So let's choose butt cap. We'll keep the corner and see what happens. Let's keep the corner rounded and the stroke aligned. Zoom out. One last thing we'll do for the hidden lines is we will change their stroke color to gray rather than black. So go over to the toolbar, hit Stroke. This pulls up the Colors panel. You can link this Colors panel with the rest of your panels by dragging it over until you get this blue line, release it, and so then you can collapse it into its icon and then just bring it up as needed. And this is how you start to build your own workspace that works for you. Let's double click on the stroke, and here you can just kind of like use an eyedropper to choose a gray. I'll choose this. See how it looks? Perfect. Now let's go over how you manipulate these lines. Go back under layers, lock the hidden layer, and let's just unlock outline. Click A or the direct selection tool, which is directly below the selection tool in the toolbar, and click this outline. Zooming in, you can see anchor points, which if you click and drag, you can move this line. These are control handles. Once again, if you click and drag, you can see how you can start to manipulate the line. If you hit C, that'll pull up the scissor tool. Click anywhere on the line. Direct selection tool, again, if you click, you can see where this has been broken in two. Now if you align your anchor points, click that, or let's zoom out. So we've split that line, but if you click and drag over, hit Control J, you can join them back up. You can see they're rejoined. All right, so for now I'm just gonna undo a bunch of these movements to bring it back. And now we'll move on to part 3 of the video.